Tonight, independent and DC minority investigations with Russian officials reveal that the Russian government never objected to direct supply of COVID vaccines to Ghana, contrary to claims by government in a Sputnik V vaccine scandal.
We are of the view that the Sputnik contract signed between the Ministry of Health for and on behalf of the government of Ghana and the third party is not in the interest of Ghana.
We will interrogate the minority's claims as they accuse the Foreign Affairs Minister of failing to protect Ghana.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Gasem Cement. The nation builder is also brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. Now, government had claimed that the Russian government failed to respond to Ghana's frantic efforts for a direct contact in delivering vaccines to help the country in its war against COVID-19. Well, tonight, the NDC minority in Parliament claims its independent investigations prove that government was not truthful. In a press conference today, Minority Leader Harun Edrisu alleged that their checks with the Russian government showed that they were at all times open to dealing directly with government on the matter of the Sputnik V vaccine supply. We'll hear from him shortly. But first, let me read to you a line from the press release that the Health Ministry released last week on this issue of the Sputnik V vaccines and the efforts that government had made in reaching the Russian government directly. It said that the Ministry of Health, quote, has since early this year made several efforts to procure the Sputnik V vaccine directly by engaging the Russian authorities, such as the Russian Prime Minister, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the CEO of Russia Direct Investment Fund, and the CEO of limited liability company Human Vaccine. Meetings were also held with the Deputy Ambassador of Russia in Ghana. The Ministry of Health also engaged individual Ghanaians and companies for the supply of various types of COVID-19 vaccines. Unfortunately, none of these efforts have yielded any results till date. Well, today at a press conference, the minority leader, Harun Edrisu, laid out what their own inquiries with the Russian government revealed. Listen.
A minority's own investigation into this Sputnik V scandal is that the Russian authorities have at all times been willing to deal directly with Ghana, contrary to what the Nana Dankwa government has been claiming. Indeed, our checks at the embassy indicate that the Russian Direct Investment Fund, RDIF, has opened direct engagement with over 30 governments as of February this year, including some African countries such as Kenya, Rwanda, Tunisia, Guinea, and Algeria. And we have a statement from Moscow confirming this. We've also established that this dubious middleman government is dealing with have no authorization on behalf of the RDIF or Russian authorities to hold themselves out as agents. So you are dealing with agents that are doubtful in character, doubtful in their capacity to be purporting to undertake the activity of agents in the procurement of COVID vaccines. At best, they are imposters. Why must a ministry or a government be dealing with imposters in a major public health emergency transaction such as COVID? Our caucus can also confirm that these middlemen made no efforts to engage the Russian embassy even when they arrived in Accra. So even if you are dealing with an agent who is working with Russian government, we can establish authoritatively that there is no communication between these agents and even the Russian embassy in Accra.
He also disclosed what Russian officials told them when they asked about Ghana's quest to do due diligence on the middlemen we ended up contracting.
Our government did not also contract them for any due diligence, neither were Russian embassy officials invited to the meetings with these shouldy characters. It is worth pointing out that contrary to the claims contained in the official press release of the Ministry of Health dated 9th June 2021, as I indicated, there is no deputy Russian ambassador in Ghana. I'm challenging the foreign ministry to come out with the name of any person in our jurisdiction who is holding himself out as deputy Russian ambassador.
Well, when I read out the statement earlier issued by the health ministry, it indicated the efforts that the foreign affairs minister had undertaken with her counterparts in Russia to try and get them to deal directly with us and release the Sputnik V vaccines that we're in desperate need of. Well, the minority also disclosed what they believe was the actual events as it relates to the efforts that the foreign affairs minister made. Listen.
Even more troubling, the purported vaccine supply agreement between Ghana's health ministry signed by Minister Kweku Agyeman-Menu and Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Al Maktoum on 9th May 2021, as I indicated, stands in violation of Article 1815 of the 1992 Constitution, which makes it an international economic transaction. We find it unacceptable that President Nana Akufo-Addo, who himself have served in previous capacity as foreign minister, will sidestep the use of legitimate diplomatic channels and rather resort to dealing with Russian institutions through third parties. Yet, as a country, we have maintained cordiality with the Russian government, with the Russian embassy in Ghana, and probably could have dealt directly with the Russian government. It is clear to us that our foreign ministry, led by the Honorable Shella Yokopochi, have let this country down. We, even in the minority, have unfettered access to the Russian authorities in Ghana. So it's embarrassing that government will tell us that they cannot reach out and they are dealing with a non-existing deputy Russian ambassador.
Well, they're demanding a bipartisan probe into this.
We are of the view that the Sputnik contract signed between the Ministry of Health for and on behalf of the government of Ghana and the third party is not in the interest of Ghana. It is not probably the best to justify the safety and health of Ghanaians, and therefore we are calling for a halt and a probe. We have accordingly filed a parliamentary motion to demand a bipartisan investigation and inquiry into the matter, and the report will advise us accordingly what course of action we should take.
Well, joining me on the line right now is the ranking member on the Health Committee in Parliament, Honorable Minta Akando, who we understand led these inquiries with the Russian authorities. Also joining me is his chairman on that same committee, Dr. Friye. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time here on Top Story. Let me start with you, Mr. Akando. So how did you come by these claims you put out today regarding our dealings with the Russian government as it relates to the Sputnik V vaccines?
Yeah, Evans, let me say good evening to your listeners. Sorry, and say that in the interest of diplomacy or diplomatic relations, I am unable to see every conversation that's happened between our delegation to the Russian embassy. But what I can tell you on authority is that whatever the Ministry of Health captured in their press statement or the press conference with regards to the collaborations they were seeking from the Russian embassy was false. That I can tell you for a fact.
That is according to the Russian officials you had interacted with.
Well, to start with, there is nobody like the deputy Russian ambassador in that particular embassy to start with. And they indicated to us that at all times they are ready to collaborate with Ghana and to assist Ghana at all times. At all times. And so just to hear from the ministry that they were unsuccessful getting them to collaborate with them to bring us vaccine, Evans, is not true.
I mean, just to clarify, was it last week we saw yourself and Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa in a picture with the Russian ambassador to Ghana, if I'm not mistaken? Is that part of the inquiries that you were making on this?
I think we had not less than 3 hours discussion with them, so we had the opportunity to take some pictures with them after our conversations with them.
Your chairman is with me on the telephone line, Dr. Friye. So you've just heard there the assertions as told them by the Russian officials that they were at all times open to dealing directly with us, contrary to the claims in the press release I read out earlier by government that we had tried everything to reach the Russian government and without success. What's your reaction to this? Hello, Dr. Free. Do I have Dr. Free on the line? Okay, we'll try and get him back because we know he's been very instrumental, also understands this. He's spoken to us on Top Story a few times on this. But let's stay with you, Mr. Kano, because you had put this out today. Did the Russian officials you've been speaking to, did they give you any evidence to suggest that indeed what they're telling you is the case? Because it's your word, right? I mean, the Foreign Affairs Ministry had reached out to her counterpart, the Russian foreign minister. It could have been directly without necessarily using the officials you've spoken to locally.
Evans, we had no cause to doubt whatever conversation that went on between us and them. We had no cause.
You don't doubt it?
No. We had no cause whatsoever to doubt it. You see, Evans, there is absolutely everything wrong with the agreement that Ghana government signed with the Sheikh from Dubai. There's absolutely everything wrong with it. To start with, there are two critical issues. The number one issue has to do with middlemen. Evans, if you like, go and check our records as a country. In Ghana, we have never dealt with any middleman when it comes to vaccines in this country. Because we must highly protect our vaccines. We don't have any single record. And this is not the first time we're importing vaccines into this country. On top, the WHO, the World Health Organization, has warned that countries who are dealing with middlemen risk getting substandard vaccines. There are videos to that effect. So why should we be dealing with middlemen? That's the first issue. So the safety of the vaccine or the efficacy of the vaccine or the potency of the vaccine when it goes through middlemen is questionable.
I also read in your statement that the Russian officials tell you that the Sheikh and his people who we were dealing with as middlemen were not authorized to deal in the Sputnik V vaccines.
Well, Evans, to react to this statement you have put to me, I can only tell you that the Russian embassy was not in any way involved when Ghana took the first course. If you recall, we heard in the media that the minister of Ghana government was taking delivery of about 15,000 doses of Sputnik 5 at the Kotoka International Airport.
Yes, they did 15,000. In fact, last week we also learned from the the chief director of the health ministry that later on they actually also brought an additional 5,000. So in all, they've delivered 20,000.
So I can tell you that the Russian embassy in Ghana knew nothing about it.
But you don't find that curious? If what the claims that you've heard from the Russian embassy is true, how did they end up getting 20,000 vaccines that we know only can come from the Russian government?
You see, vaccines are not like tomatoes that you can carry anywhere. Oh, I have vaccine, so come give me money and let me give you. No. Before, as a government, even if you are dealing with a middleman, the right thing to do is to check from the right source whether the person you are dealing with is taking those vaccines directly from the right source. Do you understand? And so there are a lot of questions that they must come out to answer, because virtually everything they put out there first has turned out to be false. This has to do with even the middleman. There are other issues about the pricing, issues about why do we have to go and buy a dose of Sputnik 5 at $19 per dose? Why? Why do we have to do that? As I speak to you now, they have dealt with not less than 30 countries, including African countries, Kenya, Rwanda, Algeria, and many of them, name them. So why are those countries dealing directly with Russian, government to government or country to country, but Ghana is unable to deal directly with the Russian government? These are legitimate questions that beg for answers. Why do we, even in the Sputnik press statement in Russia, the company issued a press statement to the effect that in the international market, we should not buy the Sputnik V in any part of the world more than $10. The explanation to this effect is that, it's the ex-factory price. Evans, assuming without admitting that is even the ex-factory price, you go and buy something at $10 per dose. And Evans, I hope you are taking the vaccine, so you know every dose is just a tiny bottle. Just a tiny bottle. Very, very small. Ghana government is telling me that carrying that small, tiny bottle that may not even weigh more than 2 kilograms is costing him about $9 per each bottle.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this directly. The Russian government representative to Ghana is a Russian ambassador. He lives here. In the statement that was issued that I read out earlier, there was an indication that you've claimed there's no deputy Russian ambassador, but they also mentioned that they've dealt with the Russian ambassador here. When you spoke to the Russian ambassador, was he ever contacted directly by our government?
As far as we are concerned, the person we spoke to denied knowledge of any discussion on Sputnik issues with Ghana government.
This person, how high is he? Are we talking about a Russian ambassador himself?
Even I'm constrained, and you should understand it. I'm constrained. I can tell you.
I'm asking that because we've seen a public manifestation of that meeting. You took the picture with him. Was he him who was telling you that he doesn't know, he has not been contacted?
I am telling you that, take it from me. I do not want to quote anybody directly, but I'm saying that the Ghana government has not met any deputy, the so-called deputy and deputy ambassador in inverted commas, in this country. If they think that they have any evidence to that effect, they should provide it.
Yeah, so you don't find it curious also that,
You see, what it is that even actually everything is bad about this contract. So Ghana government was only trying to look for some answers. It took some time before the minister was even able to speak on this matter. And the first time I even heard that there was a press statement to introduce another press statement. And on that press statement, that is when they came out with all these reasons. So every single line in that particular press statement needs some kind of explanation. It doesn't add up. It doesn't. Why are we not part of the good story, but we always want to be part of the bad story? Yes, Rwanda has done it. Yes, Kenya has done it. Yes, Algeria has done it. What at all is it difficult? Meanwhile, Ghana is a member of the executive board of the WHO.
Let me ask you. I mean, in the meantime, we still need vaccines. Your contacts at the Russian in the Russian government you've been talking to.
If today,
did they
we are
indicate
willing and ready to deal with the AU, to deal with the Russians, to look for vaccines, Evans, I can assure you can get it.
I mean, I'm asking. Now,
as far as I'm concerned, there are a number of doses of vaccines available at the AU CDC, and I am telling you that.
Mr. Khan, I'm asking you directly. I'm asking you directly about the Russian government. I mean, you've been to meet
this matter. Hold on, Ivan. Take time. You know, as I speak to you now, Ghana government through our institutions has issued a permit or permitted Sputnik to do clinical trials in Ghana.
Sputnik Light.
Yes, Sputnik. They are developing another one they call the Sputnik Light. What we are talking about is the Sputnik 5, that's Sputnik V. But as I speak to you now, they have the permission to do clinical trials in Ghana for Sputnik Light. Is it also not curious that the people you are looking for, the people you want vaccines from, they came to your jurisdiction, went through your institution, you've cleared them, and yet you have not gotten vaccines from the same people. Is it also not curious?
You are asking for a bipartisan probe into this particular matter. What was the point of that? And do you have support from the other side for this to happen? But also, let me just indicate that Dr. Free, we just had to go into a meeting. He was on the line a short while ago. We lost him. Just had to go into a meeting, so he's unable to speak to us on this right now. But you want a bipartisan probe?
You're supposed to go into a meeting. Is that a committee meeting?
Well, we've not been told the nature of this meeting, but that's what we've just been told. I'm asking you whether you have the buy-in of your colleagues on the majority side for this bipartisan probe.
I am clear in my mind. If indeed we have the country at heart, if indeed they all want us to perform our oversight responsibility, if indeed they want us to protect the public purse, if indeed they are working in the interest of their constituents, they have no option than to support this motion. Because be informed that we have filed a parliamentary motion to discuss this matter and to call on the Speaker of the House to set a bipartisan probe into this matter for us to get into its logical conclusion, because somebody must answer questions and, if possible, be sanctioned for taking such a decision.
Thank you very much. That's Mensah Kando. He is the ranking member on the Health Committee in Parliament. They've laid out their findings. I'm pretty sure I referenced a picture that had been circulating since last week. Himself and Samuel Kututa Blakwa had taken a picture with the Russian ambassador to Ghana after they had the bilateral talks. Talks. They had visited him at the Russian embassy, and they've had some talks, and that picture had circulated. As you've heard there, it's possibly from that meeting that all this had now unfolded. We still need a few more issues to still clarify. And I read to you the government statement earlier that talks about engagements, direct engagements with Russian authorities, specifically Russian Prime Minister, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the CEO of Russian Direct Investment, and the CEO of the limited liability company Human Vaccine. And also meetings were also held with the Deputy Ambassador of Russia in Ghana. A key question is why the Deputy Ambassador and not the Ambassador himself? We need to get some clarity on that. Once we do, we'll bring that to you. This is Top Story, always brought to you by Gassim Cement, the nation's builder, and Vodafone. Together we can.
55, 78, 58, 70. Hey, Charlie, my network is really killing me. I have to pay my uncle's workers for mobile money, but the charges alone, it's about 3